What's up, everybody? Kyle Stetson there. Welcome back to another video. Today we have my AEW Fight for the Fallen. It's called the Fighter Fest predictions. Of course, it is another big special edition Dynamite, and like I did for the Fighter Fests, I'm going to do a Fight for the Fallen predictions and a review because, of course, it's a big show. It's a special edition Dynamite, so that means predictions and yeah. So let's not waste time. Let's get straight into it. Before I do, like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. And before we get into the actual matches that were announced, they did announce that Tony Khan will be making a special announcement last week. This could really be anything. It could be maybe one of the two rumored signings. You know who I'm on about. A certain American Dragon and a certain Best in the World could be making their way to AEW. If you know, you know. If you don't, I don't want to spoil it, but you can probably put two and two together. Maybe it's one of them. Maybe it's like some event announcement. Maybe it's like a tour that they're doing. This really could be anything. It could be a new event. It could be a new show. It could be a new signing. So very interested to see what this is. I don't really want to like speculate too much, saying, oh, it's definitely going to be a new signing, just for it to be like an event announcement or a, and so yeah, very interested to see what Tony Khan has to announce here tonight. Tonight. Fight for the Fallen. So let's get into the matches that have been announced so far as of recording this. Maybe one or two get added, but there's currently 6 matches here in front of me, and that's roughly what you would get in a 2-hour episode. Dynamite, of course, plus you'd have like your segments as well in between. So I feel like this is probably going to be the full card that we do see. I feel like around now AEW have most of the card announced anyway. So let's get into it. First match I have is one that recently just got announced. I've seen it just a couple of minutes ago. It might have been announced before and I've only seen it a few minutes ago. But Thunder Rosa versus Julia Hart, of course, with the Varsity Blondes. I'm actually a big Julia Hart fan. I think she's been a great addition to the Varsity Blondes. She's added something that I didn't even know the group was missing. So I think she's a great addition. She is very young as well. I think she's only like 19 or 20. So she does have a lot of potential to go on and be something in the future. But I just do not see her beating Thunder Rosa in this match. Of course, Thunder is probably one of the top tier in the women's division. You know, she's probably up there with like Britt Baker, Sheeta, and Nyla Rose. Whereas Julia Hart, she's young. She's kind of new to, like, she hasn't really had a lot of matches on Dynamite. Maybe she's probably had a few on Dark. Well, I know she's had a couple on Dark, but I'm not sure the exact number of matches she's had. Definitely nowhere near. So, like, yeah, she's young, kind of inexperienced. I do think she has a lot of potential. I do like her. I do think she's been a great addition to the Varsity Blondes. I just do not see her beating Thunder Rosa. It'd be a big upset if she did get the win here, but yeah, I feel like Thunder Rosa gets the win here without even too much of a debate. Lance Archer defends his newly won IWGP United States Championship against Hikuleo. Hikuleo, of course, the brother of Tangaloa and Tamatonga, and of course the son of Haku, Bullet Club member as well. Of course, since he is GOD's brother of the Gorillas of Destiny. Hikuleo is someone I kind of remember when he was a bit of a young line of Bullet Club. He hasn't really been. I haven't really seen him in a while. But yeah, he's very he got in the ring and he's like taller than Archer nearly. So this is going to be a big house battle. But yeah, Archer just won the belt last week. I don't know if Hikuleo is ready and is in a position where he'll definitely be Archer in Archer's first defense. But I do think this could be something special. Again, 2 big men going at it. It could lead to some good stuff. But yeah, I think Archer just beating Jon Moxley for the belt last week, and kind of a bit upset. I don't really think a lot of people expected Mox to drop the belt to Archer last week. And yeah, so I don't know. I just don't see Archer dropping the belt after 1 week. So yeah, I'm going to go with Lance Archer to retain here. Christian Cage teams up with the Jurassic Express, which is of course Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, against the Hardy Family Office, Angelico and the Private Party. So yeah, big fan of Angelico and Private Party, but it's hard to go against Christian Cage and Jungle Boy Luchasaurus here. Maybe Matt Hardy, of course, he'll probably be at ringside. Maybe a bit of interference. Maybe Jack Evans. I don't know if he's injured or not. I feel like it's been a long time since I've seen Evans. So he's probably injured. Hopefully, if he's not injured, he could get involved. So yeah, maybe there's a bit of interference that kind of caused the distraction that Hardy Family Office can take advantage of. But as I said, it's kind of hard to bet against Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus, of course. So kind of have to lean with Jurassic Express on Christian in this one. A big fan of Private Party and Angelico as well, though. It's just when you're going up against someone like Christian Cage, and even Jungle Boy, with how over he's kind of been with the AEW audience. Well, kind of even before the break, because I remember the match with Jericho before the pandemic. But since come back, he has really been over. As showed when he won at Double or Not in the Casino Battle Royale, he's been getting good reactions. So yeah, it's kind of hard to see them lose here. Very interested to see if we kind of get a bit of a dissension between Christian and Jungle Boy. Of course, Christian was the last one eliminated by Jungle Boy in that Battle Royal. Of course, it came down to Matt Hardy as well. They were the final three, I believe. Which is kind of where this feud has came from, the Hardys and Christian and Jurassic Express. So it'd be interesting to see if maybe Christian turns on Jungle Boy. I've seen some people speculate maybe it's Jungle Boy or Luchasaurus that turns. But I feel like this is kind of setting up a Christian Cage and Jungle Boy feud. Just kind of the little looks and glances they've been throwing at each other. Kind of those small little details that AEW do so well to build the feuds, that kind of build that little speculation, kind of building that doubt in your mind that maybe one of these men will turn. And maybe that's how Private Party could take advantage, even though you're kind of expecting them to lose here. But as I said, it's kind of hard to go. Even with all that being said, it's hard to go against Christian and Jurassic Express. So let's move on with the tag team match between FTR and Santana and Ortiz. Of course, Conan with Pride and Powerful and Tully with FTR. Two great teams, two teams that could easily just challenge for the belts next week, could win the belts next week. Two of the top teams. Very excited that we're finally getting this 2-on-2. Of course, they've kind of had multi-man match, like 6 men and like all that stuff with the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle feud. So to finally get this match 2-on-2, it should be fantastic. Two fantastic teams. Two kind of different styles, but two styles that normally work so well, especially in tag team matches. Prime Powerful kind of a bit more high risk, whereas FTR are like your old school tag team from like the NWA days. So this should be something. This should be some good stuff. Hard to call. It could easily go either way as well. But big fan of both teams. It kind of trying to pick a winner here. It is tough. So I'm going to go with Santana and Ortiz. Why not? I like FTR, but I'm probably more of a big Pride and Powerful fan, a big LAX fan from when they were in Impact. So yeah, gonna go with Santana and Ortiz. But again, I won't complain if they lost because I like FTR, and this should be a fantastic tag match. Then these last two matches, they're probably the two matches that one will probably end up opening the show and the other will probably end up main eventing. I feel like I'm going to go with Chris Jericho and Nick Cage next because I don't know if this will main event. It's probably one of the most hyped matches going into the show. But I can see this also very easily opening the show like Jericho did with Spears last week, just because of what's at stake in the match that I'm going to talk about last. Of course, Nick Gage coming off that big Matt Cardona match in GCW, which was awesome. Unbelievable matchup. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Get the replay on Fight Friday. You can find it on YouTube or somewhere. But that match between Gage and Cardona was an unbelievable match. And it sets up big things going forward in GCW. Of course, very interested to see what GCW do with Cardona. But of course, War Games coming up, 440. Of course, who kind of cost Gage the belt. They attacked him. Ricky Champagne looked like he was on Gage's side, turned. It looked like he was turned on 440, but then swerved Gage, low blowed Gage. Cardona hit this radio silence to form a Rough Rider. And then they announced MDK, Team MDK, which is Gage, Mance Warner, Matthew Justice, Effie, Alex Colon, and AJ Gray versus the 6 members of 440 in War Games coming up at a future GCW show. So that is exciting. But we're not talking about GCW, we're talking about AEW. But it's hard not to talk about GCW when you're talking about MDK, which of course is Nick fucking Gage, because it's MDK all fucking day. He faces the Painmaker Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho revealing last week that he will be the Painmaker going into this match. As much as I want to say Nick Gage beats Chris Jericho, I feel like Jericho gets the win because it's part of the labors of Jericho. I feel like Jericho's going to win and kind of continue on the feud with MJF. I'm interested to see how they do this match. Like it is a no rules match, no DQ match. So I'm very interested to see what they do. Is there light tubes? Are there doors? How far do they go with this? How far do they go with Nick Gage? Is this a one-off appearance from Gage? So yeah, there's a lot of different questions that it's kind of hard to know the answers for right now. But yeah, I never thought I'd see Nick Gage versus Chris Jericho. 2021 just proven it's a wild year. First Nick Cage versus the former Zack Ryder, now Nick Cage versus Chris Jericho. If you had told me these matches were happening like a year or two ago, no chance I would believe you. But here we are. But yeah, as I said, it's hard to go against Jericho because it's the whole labors of Jericho thing. Like kind of him trying to earn his way to that MJF match. So yeah, very surprised if Gage gets the win, even though I would love to see Nick Cage get the win here. You kind of have to go with Jericho just because of, like, as I said, the whole labors of Jericho thing. Then probably the match that will main event the show. I feel like with everything at stake, this is probably the most likely to be main event. The Elite, which of course Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, also teaming up with the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows. Of course, Don Callis by their side. They take on Adam Hangman Page and the Dark Order, which of course will be Uno, Grayson, Silver and Reynolds. 10-match tag team match. If Page and Dark Order win, they will receive future match for Omega's World Heavyweight Championship and the Bucks World Tag Team Championship. And if they lose, they cannot challenge for the titles. This match is very interesting. I believe this might be Survivor Series style elimination match. Yeah, it says 10-man elimination match here in front of me. So this is very interesting. I kind of want to see Hangman and Kenny not touch at all. But how would you do that? Because I feel like it will come down to them two. Maybe like Kenny and the Bucks versus Hangman or something like that. I feel like the numbers advantage will normally favour the heels. So yeah, very interested to see how this plays out. I think Hangman and the Dark Order win. They should win. Because I want to see Hangman challenge for the belts. Also very interesting to see, is it Uno and Grayson or is it Stu and Reynolds that will get the tag team title shot? And maybe the Good Brothers recently regaining the Impact Tag Team Championships at Slammiversary. Maybe they could defend the Impact Tag Team Championships against the other team. That may be something that could work out from this. I'm not very sure about that though. I know Private Party have showed up in Impact and I believe they challenged for the belts before. So again, it's not out of question. But yeah, the stipulation is for the AEW World Heavyweight title and the AEW Tag Team titles. So maybe that's just speculation on my end. That that's something they could do. Whether or not they do it is another question. So yeah, very interested to see how this plays out. As I said, I feel like Hangman and Kenny, I would like if they don't touch onto like All Out. Maybe they don't. Maybe like Hangman gets in, doesn't want to tag Kenny or like, and like Kenny hits like a 1-8 winged angel on him. But then that would involve him losing, or like, yeah. So I'm very interested to see how this like plays out. We probably will end up getting Kenny. I don't know, maybe like Kenny walks away, like it comes down to like Kenny and the Bucks or Kenny and like Carl Anderson and like Matt Jackson, like 3 on like 2 or something, with like Silver and Hangman just say, like Kenny and like or Hangman and Silver like end up evening the odds. They end up with the numbers advantage 2-1 on Kenny. And Kenny's like, you know what, I'll walk away, it gets counted out or something. Maybe that's how a way they could do it. I know it's elimination match. I think Hangman and the Dark Order will win and should win. But also, I don't see like Kenny Omega eating a pin in this or like tapping or anything. So like very interested to see how this 10-man plays out. And what way they go about booking this. So yeah, very excited for tonight, and especially as I said, that main event, to see how it plays out. Very excited to see how Jericho and Nick Gage plays out. So yeah, that is it for my Fight for the Fallen 2021 predictions. As I said, very exciting show, a lot of interesting things. Very excited again. I know I'm just kind of repeating. Very excited to see what the announcement is, whether it's a new show, whether it's a debut or anything. But yeah, that's it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.